Hello, my name is Haley Osborne, and for my internet lesson plan, I chose to focus on the water cycle. Now keep in mind my students have just completed the basic notes of the water cycle and each process. To assess my students on the water cycle, I gave them a short quizzes to ensure that they understood the vocabulary so that they could move on and really apply that vocab throughout my other assignments in my lesson plan. And here you'll see the quizzes. This was one question that stood out to me where 30% of the students got it incorrect, and this just tells me that I need to go back and reteach condensation, or it could just tell me that I just need to continue to reinforce the idea of condensation through both warm-ups and exit tickets. Another activity I had the students complete was a Flipgrid. After we completed our quizzes, we did a comic strip or a board game, and then they also completed a poster and a lab. I wanted them to truly reflect on all of those activities to see if they were helpful in aiding in their ability to understand how the water cycle operates. In the Flipgrid, I had the students talk about how they felt about the assignments. Were they satisfying to them? How did they feel about them? Did they enjoy them? What was their opinion on their lab that they got to do? They got to plan and carry out the complete investigation totally on their own. It was really hard to be hands-off. And then truly, did the assignments really help them understand how the water cycle operates? And I wanted them to explain that. Another form of reflection that I had them do was a Padlet. Now, at some points they were working individually, but at this moment they were working in a group, and I wanted them to reflect as a group and talk about one thing that their group did really well and one thing that their group could use some improvement on. And I made sure to explicitly state in their instructions on our learning management system that it did not need to include any specific names or any conflict that was going on within the group, but what is something about their investigation that they could have planned better or that they could have carried out better, or different materials they could have used. And this was one of the coolest, I think, activities that I had them complete, and I didn't even know it was a thing, and so I'm really happy I had the opportunity to research this. But in Canva, you can actually create your own comic strip, and so they have the ability to choose their own template, their own speech bubbles, text boxes, and that was really fun. Now, I did have to do a bit more modeling and scaffolding on Canva because they weren't exposed to it and haven't used it a lot this year, and so I did have to guide them through this, but it was definitely worth it. One challenge that I had is students not willing to participate because they just did not get along with their group members, even though they were at the same ability level. And so really trying to level out that playing field of knowing when to move a group member so that they're more willing to participate and learn from the group work. I think I might have had too many formatives in this particular lesson. I found that I had some students just bogged down, and I feel like I could have modified the amount for my co-taught class. And I also got to do a lab where students got to plan and carry out a total investigation, and they had to recreate the water cycle, and they were just given a bunch of materials, a heat source, and they had to figure it out. And I didn't get to put that on here because it wasn't a digital tool, but I really, really loved watching them do that. So a few improvements for the future is that I would consider how many formative assessments that I give to students. I feel like they did not need to complete the poster unless they really struggled on the quizzes. I think I would have them take the quizzes at home, and then I would look at that data, and then just the ones that really struggled on the quizzes would I have them do the poster because it was a little redundant. Um, and I would also love to find an online board game so that all of the activities and formatives and summative assignments could have been digital. Thank you.